I remember when I was in Crusader newspaper, and somebody wrote something about this, how the BIBIINA are planning. It was just even an opinion. The editor was picked up and taken and tortured. Don't say anything about it. That was 1998, I think. Crusader newspaper. And the editor is, I will not even say his name. But my point is, but now they are saying it openly. It's all over that juvenile's tweet. Okay? So, and even calls Ugandan army Tutsi army. Hima Tutsi army. Can you imagine an army which is paid by our taxes? And you call it Hima Tutsi army. Why don't the Hima Tutsi pay their taxes and pay their army? And let Uganda produce its own army. So the talk has been there in operation. But because the old man is very sly, he's like a snake, he moves under like this. The next thing you know, he has beaten your heel. Okay? That's why we never heard of this before. But they have been doing it secretly. So these people in 1992 had a 50-year master plan to rule Uganda and create a scenario where some people are above others. All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. And part of that master plan was getting money and giving it to some of their sons, those who had graduated, to go and start money lending businesses. Now, the money lending was not so much that people pay back, because they give you money in a very harsh economy, and you end up losing your house, losing your property, and eventually you have nothing, because the person who is lending you knows very well he's giving you at a very exorbitant interest, and you are not going to pay back. And he does not want you to pay back. He wants to get the property. Now, the idea is the next generation of people, all the land, all the top businesses, and all the most educated people, all belong to the Hima Tutsi cluster of people. And the rest of Ugandans are slaves in Uganda. Now, you know, the Bible says rich men rule over the poor, and a borrower is a servant of the lender. Now, when these people are the ones in Kampala here lending money, and when you borrow money, it is known, especially if you're somebody of interest like Kableta. If I even went and borrowed money, thank God I cannot. If I even borrowed 5 million shillings, all of them would know, yes, now he has borrowed money. Now they come and swirl around you because they want to crush you just because you've gone and borrowed some money. Of course, I do not borrow money because I don't want to be a servant of anybody. And the Bible says borrower is a servant of the lender. But this is what happens. Now, they are the ones who have impoverished MPs. They come with that money, which is given to them, and come and lend MPs money at very exorbitant rates. As soon as people come into parliament, you've spent a lot of money in campaigns. You have absolutely nothing. And then they come and present to you a very rosy amount of money, which, of course, you are going to struggle to pay. And for the most part, you spend all your 5 years paying it. Now, somehow they keep people deeply, deeply indebted. Okay? And the whole system is just to make sure that at the end of this, you know, let me tell you, because we are not supposed to be talking here things of Bunyoro, but, you know, I was in Hoima the other day, and I moved 10 kilometers outside of Hoima city in quote. You cannot find anybody speaking Runyoro. Just 10 kilometers outside of, all of them are speaking Runyarwanda. And I'm not talking about Bavandimwe who are Ugandan Rwandans. I'm talking about Rwandans who have come from Rwanda when the border was supposedly closed. And now the thing is, all of them are Tutsi. They are Tutsi from Burundi. They are Tutsi from Rwanda. They are in Bunyoro. And they are, those people, they come, they are grazing cattle, they have guns, they take over land. And now they have land titles of square miles of land, which no indigenous person has. There are places which were earmarked by the colonialists as forest reserves. But now the Tutsis have land titles for those places. Okay? And now they are quarreling Tutsis among Tutsis for land titles of Uganda. And I'm not talking about, they have not been in Uganda for more than 1 year. Fresh from Rwanda, they don't speak any local language. Now there are those Rwandan people whom we love, whom we have nothing against, by the way, who are second generation, third generation, but they originated from Rwanda, but they are Ugandans, and we have nothing with them. But I'm talking about people who are crossing the border And then the other day, the other guy tweeted that one day Uganda and Rwanda will be one country. They will never be one country. Uganda is Uganda, Rwanda is Rwanda. Okay? But you see, now we have to stand up and fight for our country, because the plan of these people to come, because they come like that. They've taken over all these people's land. You think they have any land? Even government land. Now there's that place which was 22 square miles of government ranches left by Obote's regime. All of them have been taken over by members of the first family. Okay? And now that's a question all over. I was in Tororo, a lot of public land being taken over by private people. And then you find Rwabogo in Tororo. Odrek Rwabogo. What is he doing in Tororo? Is he a Mudama? And then they are everywhere. They are in Sepei. They are everywhere. Now they have gone, they have crossed from Toro, Bunyoro. Now they are in Acholi. The same thing. Pastoralists with guns, with a lot of money, encountering local people with a lot of poverty. And eventually they take over. Now after, if these people's plan was to come to pass, thank God it is not. After about 20 or 30 years, all of us are slaves in Uganda. If you're not a Tutsi or a Muhima, you're a slave. You will end up feeding their cattle. There's a time they used to feed your cattle. Now you'll be the one feeding what? Their cattle. All your children. The tables have turned. Now you see, some of you wonder why we come out and come. Because we are coming to save the country. Now if you want to report, you report. If you don't want, you leave. But for us, we are here to tell you that this country is slowly being turned around. Slowly being turned around. Now the other day, that command of land forces, today I'm going to be nice to him, said that the Hima Tutsi army. Can you imagine? For us, we call it Uganda People's Defense Forces. For them, they are calling it Hima Tutsi army. So now you see, the concept of Uganda is slowly dying. Slowly dying. And now, we have Batusi from all across coming into Uganda and now taking over territory, taking over money, taking over land and all resources, national resources and otherwise. And eventually, the rich rule over the poor. That's what is happening. So, now, when we fight, we do not fight because we are idle or because we do not know that there are some dangers with doing the things we are doing. We fight because my child is not going to be a slave in Uganda, because a certain Museveni came and was mistreated by people who used to call him a Munyarwanda, and then slowly he started wanting to make people envy being a Munyarwanda. There's nothing wrong with being a Munyarwanda if you're in Rwanda. But in Uganda, we are Ugandans. So now, he's slowly, and you know he's a very sly man, and he does his things under the table. It's only his son who is a bit careless and says things which he's not supposed to be saying. But from that, we learn a lot of things. But the old man is very sly. He will do something, and he's having a target. Now we are beginning to see it. We are beginning to see the Uganda he has always wanted. The vision, you know, he used to say he has a vision for Uganda. The vision for Uganda is to turn it into a Tutsi empire, where everybody else, apart from a Muhima and a Tutsi, is a slave. This is what these people are here to tell us. Now, they control, you see now they are planning to control Matoke, that they are cleaning. How can the city council in Mbarara plan table a proposal to clean Kampala? Why don't they first clean Mbarara? Is Mbarara like Switzerland or like you know, The Hague? Is it so clean that they want to now clean Uganda, Kampala? But you see, they take over the production of Matoke. They take over, let's have one meeting. They take over the production of Matoke, they take over the production of milk and all foodstuffs, and at the end of the day, they are in charge. Okay, now, this is the vision he had for the country. Thank you very much.